Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. This is part 3, episode 13, or episode 39. And at the end of the last episode, it seems like Scar kidnapped Winry. I'm not convinced of that completely, but we'll see how that all plays out. If it's a ploy, hopefully Ed and Al are just everybody's working together to get in the way of these homunculi. I thought last time when Scar reached the area with the homunculi, he understood who the enemies were. It's also still possible that he kidnapped Winry to get himself out of there, though. So we'll see. But yeah, also Hawkeye's suffering from some anxiety due to pride threatening her and seemingly being able to show up whenever he wants. So that's not the greatest situation to be in right now. Curious to see what happens with Olivier. At the end, it seemed like some people were arriving to question her. We'll see what that's about. But yeah, I'm excited. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. We're also 1 week ahead over there as well. But let's get started.
Do you remember when we first met? It seems we've changed places. You shouldn't be so confident.
Ooh.
Tell me why? Why is Winry here? We finally got Scar cornered, and now he's taking her hostage because of you!
Stand aside.
Oh. No.
What are you doing? Stop! Stop this now, Crimson Alchemist!
Get out of there.
That was a convincing performance.
It wasn't a performance.
It wasn't?
I'm every bit as angry as I sounded back there. I feel so worthless.
Your arm. You'll die if we don't bandage it.
Winry?
Quiet, Ed. I think this is what my parents would have wanted. Mom and Dad saved his life before, after all. There has to be a reason for that.
Does that mean you're forgiving me?
Oh
Don't get
no,
me wrong.
hell no.
I don't forgive your wanton murdering. I won't cry. Didn't I promise that the next time I cried, they would be tears of joy?
You did. After he kind of forced you to. Aww.
I still want to beat you bloody and drag you down to the Rockbell family grave to pay your respects.
Will he one day?
How can you bring yourself to be part of the Amestrian military? My objective is to work from the inside to change how the people of this country view the people of Ishval.
He didn't think that was
I don't think that great a task will be easy to accomplish.
right.
Who knows how long it will take. But still, my mixed blood gives me a slight advantage at least. I'm an Ishvalan pebble tossed into the ocean of the Amestrian military. Maybe in time, the ripples I create will become great waves. I am a festering wound of hatred born of the Great Ishvalan War. I am thankful that there is someone like you out there. Whatever the circumstances may be between us, I cannot let you go. You must accept judgment. Hold on! Who's there?
May! It's groundbreaking research that tries to fuse Amestrian alchemy and Shingi's alchemy.
Scar's the only one who can make sense of it. Don't you see? I have orders to bring you back to the fort.
Me? But what do they want with me?
Don't worry, you'll receive a warm welcome, I'm sure.
There's not a damn thing I want that guy's help with. Just hand him over to Kimberly.
The transmutation, sir. We know something's about to happen that will affect all of Amestris and its people. We need to know what the notes say. That's more important than anything else.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
I heard
yes.
they're using the Rockbell girl as a hostage against you. If we act now, we can disgrace Kimberly and find someplace to hide her. Where we can't touch her.
2 for 1. Very nice. Getting rid of Scar and
Listen up, Scar. If you're willing to work with
getting
us,
her out
I'll
of
postpone your judgment day.
getting her out of danger.
Well, Yes, I'll help you decode the notes. I swear on my Ishvalan blood. You can trust me, my red-eyed brother. We have a deal then.
Oh, they're awake.
Right, I almost forgot about these two freaks of nature. Dispose of them.
Yes, sir.
Hold on a second.
Dispose.
Wait! You don't have to kill them!
Showing us mercy, how adorable.
You're just a sentimental fool.
Look at these bodies, what kind of future can we have? If you're gonna kill us, do it!
Don't you have families, loved ones? Don't you want to see them again?
Even if we did, how can we go back to them like this?
So you don't want to get your original bodies back then?
Of course we want our true bodies back!
There's your answer. I don't want to hear a bunch of fatalistic nonsense. Why not live and learn whether there's a chance of getting your bodies back?
How could you possibly know what we're going through?
Well, I'm going back. No matter how long it takes, I'm not giving up.
Surely there's a tunnel that can take us beyond the mountains. I think.
That's it! Yogi!
Hey, give me some credit. This is what I did for a living.
He's right. The
That's what
tunnels
you did
come out past
for
the
crime.
mountains.
She came up with the idea.
I hate to be the one to suggest this,
Wow.
but, what do you think Kimberly would do if I was suddenly taken hostage by Scar?
Fullmetal Alchemist.
That is.
Fullmetal Alchemist.
You can't do that! You're crazy!
Well, I don't have a choice, do I? I'm a hostage either way, so I might as well get to choose my captor.
But he's a mass murderer!
So is
There's no reason for you to be
the other
risking
side.
your life.
Don't you get it? It's time for you two to learn you don't have to do everything alone!
I can see Kimberly's forces now.
It's now or never.
Damn it! Scar, if you do anything to hurt her,
I won't harm the girl. I keep my promises.
Kimberly shows no mercy to troops who fail to accomplish their missions. One way or the other, we're dead. Besides, we don't want to give up either.
You realize if you do anything to obstruct us, the whole country could be destroyed, including your families and everyone you care about.
That's
Wait,
motivation
hold on.
enough.
Just what are you saying? I don't understand. The Central Forces weren't told about any of this.
Please, we need to know more. What's going on?
Now's not the time. We'll get to it.
And you will keep your oath. Your solemn word is a true Ishvalan.
It'd be really funny if he was a really bad actor. I have Winry hostage.
Excuse me, miss. Your ears.
Ears?
Your earrings are made out of metal. If you don't take them out,
Oh.
you get frostbite.
Oh no. Thank you.
Ed,
Aww.
you hang on to these for me. I'll see you back at the fort.
we finally got Scar cornered, and now he's taking her hostage because of you!
Either Scar did the man or they're out there in the snow.
The storm will have Scar trapped too.
We know he has to be somewhere in this town, sir. Since we're stuck here, we might as well start planning our next search. We got lucky. This storm really saved our hides. What'd you say?
What?
I don't forgive your wanton murdering!
This is something you must abide.
How can I forgive the military for all that they've done?
I said nothing about forgiveness. There is no forgiveness for wanton murder. Any good man must always condemn it.
But if ultimate understanding can be reached, we may still have a chance to be saved from ourselves.
I'll actually love those words. I'll talk more about that later.
I can't wait to see my family again.
Are you really that eager to get back to the old ball and chain? I'm sure you miss your daughter, but I doubt you miss your wife.
What about
Ouch.
you? You were such a lousy drunk your own son couldn't stand to be around you for more than
Wow.
5 minutes. And you really think you'll be able to face him now?
My entire clan is waiting for me back in my country, but I don't think I can return to them.
Damn, the talk of
The
family.
Philosopher's Stone is made from sacrificing people's lives. If His Imperial Highness found out how to make one, he wouldn't hesitate a moment to do it. He'd be willing to sacrifice any number of our people.
I got chills from that.
What do you mean the fort is no longer safe?
I mean that General Armstrong's been summoned back to the Central Command Center. Troops sent from Central have begun invading Briggs in force. There's no doubt they're acting on the Crimson Alchemist's orders.
Damn it.
When we were back at the fort, I noticed him making rather frequent phone calls.
We have to find some way to warn them. I'll go tell them.
Don't go underestimating the storm out there, kid. You'll freeze to death before you come anywhere close to reaching them.
There is a way. Listen. Send someone who doesn't have a body. That storm won't freeze me to death.
Oh.
I can't see anything at all.
Dang. What? How do you wind up here? He looks different than last time. Oh!
What was that? Was it my body? But how? A body that shouldn't have a soul in it. It's being rejected? Does this mean my body is pulling on my soul?
Alphonse Elric. Edward
Father.
Elric. Izumi Curtis. She's a possibility.
Possibility.
That leaves one more.
For human sacrifice? So, we got a new opening and a new outro. Very cool. And yeah, I was right. It turns out that Scar kidnapping Winry was just a ploy. I feel like a lot of these twists aren't really meant to be twists per se. Like, I'm curious if the author of the manga intended for some of these twists on the show to be like easy to figure out. Like with the Maria Ross thing, there were enough clues, but it's still probably surprised enough people. But with this, I think the show purposefully left enough breadcrumbs so that you have an inkling of what's going on and you actually feel smart for figuring it out. I thought Ed would be on board though, but he was like highly against it. He just had to get on board because that was the only choice. But yeah, they do reveal it pretty early on in the episode, and it turns out it wasn't their plan all along like I thought it was. Yeah, Ed was furious that he had to work with Scar. And then Scar, we've talked about this before, but is he redeemable? Like, his attacks on state alchemists were retaliation for genocide, which is super serious, but I mean, like, back in that flashback episode in episode 30, it seems like Mustang killed way more people. And I said that I don't know if, like, he was just following orders is an excuse for that. So I don't know. I feel like everybody might have a path to redemption, but at what point do the crimes become too serious, right? But yeah, Winry chooses to treat his wounds while he's bound. That was a really sweet moment, actually. We'll get more into that later. But yeah, Major Miles with a cool line about how he's an Ishvalan pebble tossed into the ocean of the Estrian military, and maybe in time the ripples he creates will become great waves. Certainly hope that's the case. Working from within to fix the system is something that I've thought about in the past. At one point I wanted to be a police officer, but so I could fix the problems in the NYPD, but I was just like, I don't know, for some reason, like I realized that it was more about wanting to fix the system, and I didn't actually want to be a cop, and so yeah, I didn't want to be miserable for a long time and like martyr myself for that. But yeah, Major Miles understands that Scar needs to be kept out of Kimberly's hands so that he can decipher his brother's notes. The whole government conspiracy, the conspiracy behind the creation of the entire country, is bigger than one vendetta or one act of retribution or revenge right now. And there's this very interesting story of the guy and the spiky guy. I saw their names in the title card, or not the intermission card, but I don't remember them. Those bodies were forced on them, and they were essentially forcibly removed from their families, and they don't dare to go back to them. Their families think they're dead. And Al is able to talk them out of this fatalistic nonsense. which was a great line, by showing them who he is as well, taking off his helmet. I keep forgetting that it's not common knowledge that he's hollow. But yeah, he changes their mind and gives them hope to get their bodies back. And I really hope they're not just like playing along and will actually like betray them for Kimberly later. I don't see why they would do that, but who knows, maybe Kimberly is threatening their family too. Though Marco did make a very good point that if they betray our group, their families will be in danger anyway with what the homunculi are planning, what the country is planning. So I want to believe that they're loyal at this point. But yeah, it was actually Winry's idea to act as a hostage. It's supremely emotional when you see these people with such a history of hatred between each other coming together for a common cause, and more importantly, for the common good. Ed's not happy about it, of course, understandably, but there's no time. This is the plan, or there's no plan. And thank the Lord for the guy who tells Winry to take off her earrings could have frozen them right off. And she gives them to Ed. Aww. But yeah, she's off with Scar and Marco and Yoki. And May, I don't know if I saw May, to the Fort Briggs. And Scar is thinking back on all the things he's gone through, Winry not forgiving him, his master saying there is no forgiveness for the Mestrians, but that there's a path forward. And then his brother talking about studying alchemy, because he wants ultimate understanding, alchemy and alchemy, because he wants ultimate understanding. And I thought that was a really good line, and I thought that was a very interesting concept. I've never heard ultimate understanding before, but I really liked that terminology. I think that's such a big part of the problems in the world right now, specifically with the because I live in the United States, so I'm most an expert on the United States than any other country. There's a profound lack of understanding between a lot of people. There's a profound lack of understanding of people of color, the LGBTQ community, immigrants, and there's a profound lack of desire to try to understand them too. And yeah, the whole the thing that Winry did earlier, choosing to work with Scar for the common good, that gets to me, because partially because I'm a Pisces sun and I'm just like, I connect emotionally easier than very easily, but also because we need so much of that in our current political discourse and in our society. So yeah, that got to me. But yeah, May also realizes that she can't really save her clan, because bringing home the source of immortality would make the Shingi's emperor want to create more stones and kill more people to do that, kill his own people to do that. But then without the stone, her clan will die out. There has to be a way out of this. I don't know what it is, but yeah, everyone's headed to the fort, and Miles gets the call. Major Miles gets the call that Olivier Armstrong has been sent back to Central. I totally forgot those guys came and like took her away. Right? They showed up. I didn't know that they took her away, and I guess they're in charge now. Whoever Bradley put in charge. This is bad, really bad. But thankfully, everybody finds out, or Ed and Al finds out. Ed and Al find out through Armstrong, and Al decides to go by himself to go warn them, because he's immune from freezing to death in the storm. And yeah, he sees his body. What the heck? So it feels like his body is tugging on his soul, saying that his body can't fit in this armor much longer, that the body is rejecting the soul or something. So we're in a bit of a rush, I feel like, for him to get his body back. It's been several years at this point. And at the end, we see Father talking about 4 human sacrifices he can use: Ed, Al, Hohenheim, Izumi Curtis, and they need one more. I think they suggested earlier that Mustang could be a potential one, and I feel like that's what the State Alchemist program was designed to do. And I feel like we're truly entering the end game now, with the human sacrifice is almost completely ready, and Sloth continuing to build this tunnel that's circling all of Amestris, and we only need a few, what is it called? Something of blood. Circle of blood? I forget what the term was that Kimberly used. But yeah, I feel like we're entering the end game, but we still have like 64 minus 39, 25 episodes left. So curious to see what will happen. So this is the end of part 3, and I know that the parts are arbitrary, made by Netflix or whoever, but I've been taking breaks after every part to make sure I give myself a breather. But I don't think I feel like I do need a breather, but at the same time I also really want to know what happens next. Yeah, so I've decided that we're going to keep continuing. If I need a break at some point in the future, I will take one. But yeah, at this point, I'm going to power through. I'm going to give this episode an 8, though. It was solid. And we'll see what happens next time. I'm excited. If you guys want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Or if you want to see an early reactions, we're 1 week ahead over there as well. Otherwise, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys soon. Bye, friends.